One.
Good evening, Facebook family and friends, and welcome to the Doris James Indie Show. I'm glad I am that you found time today to tune in with us, because our special guest is the legendary Johnnie Croom. You hear him on the piano, he's sensational. We welcome him to the Doris James.
Hey.
Hi, Johnnie. Sound good. You still sound good. How have you been?
I'm good.
You doing good?
I'm doing good.
Well, I want to thank you for accepting my invitation today.
It is my total and complete pleasure.
It's so good that you're
And
here.
I'm nervous as hell.
But don't be nervous, because we have a lot of stuff we gotta get out to our Facebook family and friends.
All right.
Okay?
Hey, Facebook family.
And we want to give them all we have. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's begin. Let's begin. How did this all begin? Your musical journey. Tell me at what age, where, when, how.
Okay. I've been playing music since the 4th grade, and it's pretty much all that I've done. Pretty much all that I've done all of my life. I started playing guitar in the 4th grade. Messed around with guitar and bass. And then I started playing drums around, I think it was the 8th grade,
Okay.
7th or 8th grade, somewhere in there. And things just moved on from there.
Okay, so you started playing the guitar first. Is
Yes,
that right?
yes.
And how long did you play the guitar before you moved on?
I'm still playing the guitar. I just don't play out too much. Every now and then I do. But
Okay.
it's something that I've done for quite some time.
Okay. Okay. So you played the guitar, the drums, the bass. Tell me about a couple other instruments that you played.
That's the main
Keyboards,
one.
keyboards,
Yeah, and keyboards. Yes.
Keyboards.
Yes.
Okay, so out of those 4, which is your favorite?
Probably keyboards and drums.
Mm-hmm.
You know, keyboards and drums. I play a lot of keyboards now, mainly because people need keyboard players. You know, but my main instrument is drums. That's my main instrument.
And I was telling you just before we started the interview that the first time I heard you play, I didn't know whether it was 2 or 3 people, 8 hands playing the keyboard. I don't know, there's just so much going on. I said, well, who is that playing that keyboard like that? And I jumped up and went over to the keyboard, and you were playing. I said, you mean tell me it's only 2 hands? I thought it was a lot of hands. So you are really great on the keys.
You're kind.
Yeah, you're really great on the keys. And you had the attention, you did your solo, and you had the attention of everybody in there. They were just peeping, see what's going on. Right?
Okay.
But you don't know because you were busy playing. Okay? Okay, now who were the artists or the people in your life that inspired you to go into music?
Well, I had been doing it so long that nobody really inspired me.
Okay.
Before I even knew what it was, I was young. I mean, I remember being in the 4th grade, going to Kenderton Elementary School.
Okay.
You know, actually, my mother bought me a guitar, and I was so dedicated to that thing at such an early age. I didn't know what it was. I would practice every day. I didn't know how to tune it. I didn't know how to play it. I drove my sisters crazy. They would hide my guitar. You know, I would sit on the steps for.
Yeah.
I would sit on our steps for hours, trying to figure out the guitar. You know, and it was nobody showed me. You know, this thing. I had a guy around our neighborhood, Jimmy Frazier, and he's the first guy who actually sat down with me and taught me some things on the guitar. And also, I used to live on a street called Bancroft Street when we were a kid, and around the corner from me, Darren Daughtry, which is, I'm going to say I was at the time maybe the ninth grade. I was playing, still playing, and what have you. And I think Darren may be maybe 3 or 4 years younger than I am. I'm not really sure. I know he was younger at the time because I was a little guy. He was even smaller than I was, and he was playing guitar at an even earlier age, but his skill level was way ahead of mine, you know. And when I heard him play, it was just incredible, you know. But I was still playing guitar at the time, and that's it. It's just what we did as kids, you know.
Okay.
Everybody had a band in the neighborhoods where I lived. I thought the only bands that was around were the bands that was in my actual area. But then I started meeting other guys when I went to junior high school. I started meeting other guys that played, and it just took me into other things.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
Well, now you're busy, you're playing and all over, and you're doing so many things. What is an average day? What does your average day look like?
My days are different. Some days are boring as all get out, and some days are incredibly exciting, and it's not enough time in the day to do it. It all depends on what it is, because
Right.
I cover a wide variety of things, you know, and I do a lot of production at home. I have a lot of clients that I record and produce and work on their things, and between that and working with Bill, I've been working with Bill Jolly for a lot of years. I mean, we're up there, around 30 years. I play drums with Bill, but a lot of things we do together and what have you. Between that and the things that I do, and then other clients, it really varies. Like today, for instance, today was a day of I'm gonna say I did 2 meetings, 1 session. I met with a friend of mine for lunch, and I'm doing this. So every day is kind of different. It really all depends on what the day is. It's
Okay.
quite different.
Okay. Now, is there? I know you're a songwriter. You write songs and you produce. Is there a hidden message in your music?
Not really, because most of the things that I do are things that I do for other people. I fix a lot of
Okay.
things, you know. And I don't know if I should use the word fix.
You make it better.
I try.
Yeah. You
I
make it
try.
better.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't even want to use that word. I'll just say I'm a production guy,
Okay.
you know.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess you say you're a production guy, but you do make it better, because that's why you're in production, is to make it sound better, you know. So I think that's fair to say, right?
Well,
Or at least let me say it.
yeah, it's hard. I'm very uncomfortable with talking about anything that
What
I
you
do, because in my mind, there's nothing to me, you know. I just thank God for allowing me to do something that I really enjoy doing. I've been doing it all my life,
Thank you, God.
and that's the main thing for me. The main thing for me is, don't put it on me. It's God. It's 100% God.
And
Whatever it is, whether it be something super small or something super big or massive, or however you would want to see that. It's all about the blessing. I'm just incredibly favored, you know, and I just thank God. I thank God every day. Every day. My life is not bad at all. It really isn't. My life is pretty good.
And he gives us all gifts, and it's up to us to use those gifts.
Absolutely.
You know, he's given us gifts, and you know, either we use them or we lose them, but we have gifts.
Yeah.
And in your case, you're using all the gifts that he's given you to help others.
Yeah.
And then, in return, you're meeting a lot of people, and they're sharing their gift with you.
Yes.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a real good thing. It's collaboration, and it's,
absolutely.
you know, and I have to say that, to me, you gotta love what you do to really do it. You
Absolutely.
know? So music is something. It could be fun. It's fun,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard work,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's disappointing at times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could be all that, but music, if music is what you want to do, no matter what you want to do, if it's what you want to do, then you do it, and God blesses you in doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So He's been good to you.
He's been extremely
really
good to me.
Mm-hmm.
I always look at this as I've been on jobs or I've played certain places that I may not have wanted to play for whatever reason, but I was never upset at what I was doing. You know, I'm never upset with being a musician, but if I'm someplace that I don't feel like that this is something that I should be doing or anything like that, which is rarely, but even inside of that, I'm never, ever, ever upset about what I am doing. I'm never mad at my job, you know, for whoever I'm playing for or whatever I'm doing. I'm never upset about the job.
Now you play for so many people. We'll get into all those people that you play. I was reading something, and all these people you play after a while, I said, "Go, I can't read no more. It's just too many. It's like all everybody, you know." So we can. But tell me about your favorite performance venues.
Okay, over the years
over the
or
years.
just
Over the years.
okay. Wow, I don't even know that I have a favorite performance.
Well, who did you enjoy working with more than? Who were some of the ones that you enjoyed working with more than others? Some of your favorite. I know it's Bill Jolly and
it's always, Bill is like family.
Okay.
So anything that I do with him, it's just like family. So we're just gonna have a good time doing it, regardless of how good it is or how bad it is. We're gonna have a ball doing it. But I like working with Johnnie Gill.
Okay.
I did something on one of his albums years ago. Of course, Boyz II Men. I just recently, maybe a year or so ago, did something with Layla Hathaway at the Kimmel. I can't even remember most of these people. Lettucey.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Yeah, and she's real good people.
Great.
She's real good people. You know, she's real good people.
And she appears to be like that on stage.
She's just like that. She's not deep
really
off or anything. You know, her musical director was really cool. I played drums for her, and just good people. You know, most you really find in this business that the coolest folks are usually the people that really get it. You know, they really get that it's not about them. It's not about me. It's about being in a place, in a space that God allows us to be in. You know what I mean? And they get it. They get that, no, it's not about I'm real great as this player or this singer or anything like that. I'm real great at letting you all know that I just appreciate being here. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's how I feel all the time, regardless of what I do. I know that there's so many musicians that would love to do a lot of these things,
Right.
you know.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
not that I've done more
Yes.
or less, but there are a lot of people who are sitting in positions that are great players or singers or writers or anything, and they just want to get a chance to do their craft, you know.
Well, speaking of musical director, were you the music director for Boyz II Men?
Yes.
Tell me about that experience.
Oh, it was a good experience. Those guys. Well, let me say this too. They're
Okay.
about the most talented vocal group out there in terms of just being straight raw vocalists. Mike's not with the group anymore, but it was just really an honor to work with those guys, because at the time, it's one of those times that lightning struck at the same time for all of the success.
Oh, okay.
You know, God came into this whole situation, even with the other guys that shared the gig with me. All of us that most of us that were on the gig, we all grew up together. You know, me, Fred Holiday, Cole Younger, Fred Cooper, Jim Hamilton. Who did I miss? I think that was it. And the other guys, the other guitar. But anyway, the whole thing is that we all were just guys that came up together, and we were just blessed to be on that gig. You know,
Isn't that great?
we were blessed
That's
to be on the
great,
gig,
yes.
and to do something and hone your ideas and have people appreciate, you know, your hard work for doing it. I can't say enough about that, because everybody was trying to get that gig. We all auditioned for that gig, and they chose us.
Isn't that
You know,
something?
so again,
Yes.
it was a whole lot of musicians that were there that was incredible musicians. You know, but again, favor.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I viewed that the same way back then. That I just thank God, you know, that we had that opportunity, and then it became overwhelming, because it wasn't overwhelming back then, but thinking about it, probably for all of us, we all said we wanted to go out on tour, and it's as though God says, "Oh, you guys really want to go out on tour? Are you sure?" You know,
We'll see, huh?
yeah, you'll see. And
Yes.
we went out, and I think we did a year or two on that two tour. That two tour, it was a pretty long tour, but you would ride so much. You're in a different city every day back then.
Were you on the bus?
Yeah, and we were on the tour bus, and you literally don't know where you are from day to day until somebody tells you, or unless you're just constantly looking at your itinerary. But all of that is cool, and I don't say that to even play it up as though this is some kind of celebrity kind of driven thing or anything like that. I'm just trying to make it clear or make it plain that I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm just an average person that appreciate being able to do something that I've always wanted to do, because I remember being I don't know, maybe 18 or 20, somewhere around in there, and gigs getting short and things like that, and I would think to myself, okay, well, I guess this is it. Maybe I need to go and get a job, you know. And then something would come up, you know, and it would take me into this thing or that thing, and before you knew it, you know, I started making a little reputation for myself that people would call me for things, and then I also had a little recording studio in North Philadelphia that a lot of folks have come through there. I still see people today that come up to me and ask me about that, and a lot of the people I don't even remember because it was so long ago, and everybody looks so different now and things like that. But everybody's always cool. A lot of them remember my mom and stuff like that, and it just touches you to hear that, you know, to see the what such positive things that have come out of things like that. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, well, you know, I think that we talked about fans, okay? And whether you believe it or not, you do have a lot of fans out there.
Well,
you know? Now, wait, because they, you know, they love to hear you play, whatever instrument that you're playing.
That's kind.
You know,
That's
it's not kind. It's kind, but it's true. Okay, they loved it.
You can say that. That's
it
that's what you want.
I'm gonna chime in. I'm gonna say it too.
No.
So he didn't get away with that one.
Yeah.
It's not.
You
It's
play
not.
good
But it's not only what
you
he
play
plays.
good music.
It's how he plays.
Yes.
He plays happy.
Yeah,
I appreciate
happy
it.
is good. Good.
I appreciate it. Y'all can stop with the
And
batteries.
you know, and
in my
come
bag.
on, let's talk about all these people you work with. Well, let me say hi to Facebook fans first, but then we're going to talk about all these people you work with, and that shows you how good you are. And you name all these people. I can't even read.
That's not me. That's favor.
I know it's favor.
That's favor.
It's gifts that you received, right?
Well,
You've been blessed.
Well, I've been blessed, yeah,
Okay.
I appreciate it. But
Okay.
there's a lot of people that's doing a lot of things.
Okay,
and
so
stuff.
we're going to go
So we
here.
appreciate the blessings that you have received
And
and feel
you're-
blessed in receiving it.
And then you're blessing us tonight. So, you know, so it's good.
Well,
All good stuff. Let me say hi, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Facebook family.
He's
friends.
such a humble man.
Isn't he
I love
humble?
Uh,
Hi,
It's all
Sandy.
good.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Beverly Holloway, thank you so much. Doris, hey, Sandy, how is the sound? Okay. Now, is the sound good, Gilbert?
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay. Mike Jones, hi Mike. Hi Beverly. Beverly, thank you for your support. One hell of a musician.
oh wow,
Okay? And that was Mike Jones.
that's my man. I know Mike.
Okay.
Yeah, tell Mike I'm gonna send him a check.
He said
Mike,
he
I'm
was-
sending you some money. We all right. I'm
Okay.
sending you money, Mike.
And John Hall joined. He called me today, to tell me he was joining in. Okay.
Okay.
So thanks, John.
Bass man,
Boss man.
boss man.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
my man, John.
And Joseph Smith, thanks for always supporting me. You have Willie Robinson. Thank you, Willie. He says cool.
Wow.
Sandy said you sound good. And John Hall, okay, he has something. He's saying, this is the boss man. I've been knowing Johnny for over 40 years. Very good brother.
And John's
Okay.
a very good brother.
All
That's
right.
he's the hustle king. John's the hustle king.
Yes.
Carlos Rayleigh is in the house. And he said, Johnny Croom, see you next week at the top shelf.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
saying, you're doing a great interview. Okay? Thank you, Carlos. Cornell Tubbs, thank you, Cornell. And hi, Denise. Patricia Atkins
Hey,
joined.
Tell
So
Carlos to
thank
send some music in.
Okay. Carlos Gilbert says send some music in for your show. Carlos has a show on Tuesday evenings from 7 to 10, Talents of Philadelphia, and then he has his own show called Let's Go Back.
Yeah, Carlos is doing
on
his
Philly
thing.
Live Radio, right
Carlo-
here.
Yeah, Carlos is doing his
Yeah.
thing.
So
Yeah. Now, and I kind of grew up listening to Carlos because
Okay.
Carlos used to play drums with the Blue Notes back in the day.
yeah.
And we all used to listen to Carlos.
Well, he's doing his thing on the radio now, so we want to
Carlos,
give
he's a
a
good
shout
dude.
out to
Real good dude.
Carlos. You can join him from 7 to 10 on Philly Live Radio, Talents of Philadelphia. And then after that, he does
The 9.
Let's Go Back.
Let's go back.
Let's Go Back. So tune in and listen to him on Tuesday evenings. Okay, so let's talk about some of these artists that you were. I have it's a whole thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick a few, okay? Ashford and Simpson.
Ashford and Simpson,
Mhm.
that was, I'm trying to think what we did for Ashford and Simpson. Oh, some of these situations were, we used to do, Deanna used to do this thing called the I Am Music Conference. And I don't know if they honored Ashford and Simpson one year or if Ashford and Simpson came in and we just worked with Ashford and Simpson. Actually, quite a few times we've done some things with Ashford and Simpson. But a lot of times, the I Am Music Conference, the Diamond Awards, I think one year they were honored, and maybe a few other years working with them, they may have come in and sang for somebody who was being honored.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How about just Jill Scott?
Same thing.
Same thing.
And maybe one or two other things, but mainly that, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, and I see you performed live with Celine.
Yes. We did the Grammys and stuff. And this choir, a choir thing that Bill had put together. I don't really remember that one as well. I know we did do it though. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Very cool.
And she's real nice. She's a real cool
She
person.
is really
Yeah,
a
she's
good
real cool.
vocalist.
Yeah, she is.
She really is.
Mhm.
Now, how about Eric Benet?
Eric Benet.
That's Gilbert's boy.
That's my
Oh
boy.
yeah.
Eric Benet.
Mhm.
Okay.
I love his music, man.
He's not now. That's a down to earth dude. He's a real nice,
Isn't that
real
so?
nice guy.
Right.
Real nice dude, and very musical.
Does he write his own songs?
Yes, he does.
Cool, because those lyrics
Yes,
are
he
like,
does.
He has some
ooh.
good lyrics.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, and then you have Dionne Warwick.
I actually did a concert for her.
Okay.
And actually, that's a really good story too, because one of the concerts we did for her, her sister was in transition, was getting ready to pass, and she couldn't. She wanted to cancel the concert, and Bill told her that we would be able to do it without rehearsal. She was saying that she couldn't do it because she couldn't come and make the rehearsal, and she didn't want to trust the band to. She didn't want to put that kind of pressure on the band, and Bill assured her that we would be able to pull it off. And she said that, well, she's been with her band for quite some years, and she really didn't feel too good about this and what have you. We ended up doing it, and she didn't make any of the rehearsal. She came the day of the show, and she took a listen to what we did, and she was rather overwhelmed.
Yeah.
She was knocked out.
Isn't
She
it?
couldn't believe that we had nailed it
Good
like that.
musicians.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Good
And her
musicians.
music is really hard. Some of the basic things are real cool, but it's a lot of vibe stuff, and the older things, they I don't even know how to say it. It's the particular style. It's not just the playing of the music. It's the particular feel of the music that's difficult to capture, But we did it, and it was
Okay.
okay. And she was blown away. She really enjoyed it. Yeah, she
Mhm.
did.
Okay, let's take. How about Eddie and Gerald Levert?
Oh, well, Gerald, I used to do him from time to time. A couple award shows. Actually, Eddie and Gerald was one award show, and I think one of the shows was the I Am. they put Drill and Eddie in to do. I don't know who they were honoring, but whoever they were honoring, they got Drill and Eddie to sing the lead on one of the things. And those guys, it just used to be a lot of fun back then, because Eddie, that dude, he's a fun guy, you know. One of my best friends, my actual best friends, plays drums with the OJ's Freer Holiday, and he's just a real good guy, you know, a real good guy. But doing a lot of things with Gerald back in the day. Gerald used to be the guy that would come in and just cover things, you know, and he was always cool. He was always real cool.
Excellent.
Matter of fact, shout out to Flem Brown. If Flem is here, Flem and Randy Bolin.
Okay.
They did, I don't know if it was his last album, but one of his major hits and stuff. And they did it right up here, over at Flem's place.
Oh, okay.
And Flem is over at, I don't know the exact place, but it's up here in West Philly.
Okay. Well, what on earth did you do with Maxine Brown? Were you even born?
Who is Maxine Brown?
Maxine Brown? You remember Maxine Brown?
I don't know.
Yeah, Maxine Brown. She had.
Yeah. Oh, the R&B Music Awards. They honored her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was her and.
Were you even born? Maxine?
No.
I was gonna say, what did you do? Okay.
I played drums for her.
Okay.
Yeah, the R&B Music Awards, and that was also Gerald did a R&B Music Award show too. They don't do the R&B Music Awards anymore, but we used to do those almost every year. And you had to cover a lot of music for a lot of different artists, you know, a lot of those kinds of things. But yeah, I played drums for her.
Okay, because I was saying that I don't know about Maxine. And then tell me, what part did you play on the Stylistics? You made me feel brand new. I mean, what did you do there?
Well, I didn't play anything on You Make Me Feel Brand New.
Okay.
People are asking me that because I was in partnership with a friend of mine, Vance DeBose and Khan Jamal. We had a group called No Question back in the 2000s or somewhere around in here. And they were the last group that signed with Philly International. And we had a tune that did pretty well back then, and the group did pretty well back then. And the deal that we did with them is that Gamble, he wanted to have one of the Philly International tunes from one of their catalogs. So we chose You Make Me Feel Brand New, and I did a version of it on their album. Yeah, so that's what that was.
Okay, now I'm going back again. How about Chubby Checker?
Same. They honored him.
Don't laugh, girl. That was our day.
It was a couple things I did for him. They honored him at the at one of the award shows, and I played drums for him one time, and I played organ for him one time. I'm not even really an organ player. Me and what's the guy from Letterman?
Doc?
No, from Dave Letterman.
Dave Letterman. Yeah.
Paul Schaefer. Yeah, it was me and Paul Schaefer. Yeah. So.
Well, you did so many. I mean, it's you did things for Teddy Pendergrass and Pat
I did
LaBelle.
I did Teddy's last tour. His last performance. He actually retired from that tour. His comeback tour. I did his last one.
Did Jeffrey Osborne, James Ingram, Usher, the Bud Boys. I mean, it's just, it goes on and on. So
Blessings.
I mean, it's a lot of blessings.
Well, it has been good. A lot of people know me for a lot of things, like, you know, being a musical director for Boyz II Men and working with Aaliyah. Yeah, I was musical director for Aaliyah and Genuine and a few other people and what have you. And people are always asking me about Aaliyah and how was she.
And how was that experience?
It was real good. She was really a very talented artist, and it was just one of those eras that she understood, you know, and her people understood. Really, really nice artist, very nice artist. Yeah, I couldn't say enough about her, you know. And I took, when I got called for that gig, I put together a band from Philly, which is my partner Stacy McGee and
Baseman.
and Brian Frazier Moore, who is playing with Justin Timberlake. Now his from this Aaliyah tour, it catapulted him, because back then when I was doing all of this stuff, it was a handful of guys that was your names to know, if you will. And Brian was young at the time, but his talent level was like really, really crazy. His talent level was still crazy like that. And he was really noticed from doing that Aaliyah gig and the Genuine gig. We were doing both the gigs. And that gig catapulted him into all kinds of crazy things. He moved on to playing for Janet Jackson, Celine Dion. His list is crazy long. Now he's usually like the house band with the Grammys and everything else, you know. Yeah, it's good.
Just continuing that musical journey, right?
Yeah, he's doing, and that's the thing that I really try to hone in on, is that it's about us helping each other to move forward. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Everybody gets their 15 minutes, you know. And the bigger thing that I try to hang on to is that none of us are better than any of us, but it takes each of us to help all of us.
Okay.
Now,
Right there.
that's not my quote. That's a
Excellent.
friend of mine's quote.
Okay.
Kenneth Salam, that teaches me a lot of things, but I've never forgotten that. And when I find that when you put all of these things forward, in most cases, things tend to work out. I don't know how, but when you really not make it about you, things really move a lot better, you know. So.
Well, you know, Johnny, and that's true, because the indie show, we try to give a platform, okay, to the artists, okay, because so many times they're forgotten, you know, and they've worked hard during their musical journey, and they're probably still working, getting gigs here and there, and we want to say thank you to all you artists that played for the tier 1, like the stars, and because you made you helped to make them what they are today, and you should be recognized. And this is a platform that you can sit here and you can tell us what you did. You know, your story.
Yes.
You know, and you don't have to. You know, you're not bragging or anything. You're just telling us what you actually have done to contribute to the music industry, right?
Absolutely.
And so that's what we want to do. We want to bring this out to let everybody know there's thousands and thousands of musicians, and you heard thousands and thousands of songs.
Absolutely.
And they're on those songs. Okay?
Absolutely.
Now, you've worked for, or you've played for so many people, okay? Now, when are you going to present your fans a CD?
You keep saying my fans.
When are you going to present us a CD of Johnnie Croom?
Well, actually, I've been starting something now for a year, and it's been starting and starting and starting and starting. Did I tell you that it was starting? Because if it was starting, when I told you it was starting, it's starting. Yeah. I every time that I start working on something else comes up, and I do so many things for other people that it's hard to focus on myself. And to tell you the truth, I've never had the feeling of wanting to do something for myself. I've never had that strange fire or that burn to kind of be in that kind of space or that kind of place. But even with me doing it now, I still don't have that. The only reason why that I'm even doing it is because I've done so many things for so many other people.
Yeah, it's
So
your time.
I don't want to.
You gotta
Well,
do this. You gotta
I'm not even concerned with sales or anything like that. I'm saying that if something were, God forbid, to happen, I don't want to be in a position that I say, wow, I don't have anything that I did for myself. That's the only reason that I would do it.
Do you need a scheduling person?
No.
You sure? Because
No.
we can get you a scheduling
No,
person.
it's not.
So it can schedule where you can schedule time for yourself
No.
to work on your CD.
I can.
Jamela.
I can find time. I can find time to do the CD. That doesn't mean that I feel like doing it.
Ah.
That's what it basically is, because I have to be inspired to do what's in my head. So the things that I have so far is pretty nice, but it's taken me a length of time to find that kind of space that I'm saying, oh, I feel like doing this, and I'll just work on it until I can't do it anymore, and then I'll just stop, and then when it hits me again, I
You
just
go
sit
back
down and
to
do it.
Okay.
But when I'm working for other people, they're paying me, and I don't have that option. So I just try to spit out the best thing that I can spit out, if I can.
Well, that reminds me of things that I go through, that I'm so busy doing things for other people, and I make a couple pennies here and there. So when summer comes in, I said I'm going to take some time off, and I'm going to learn some new stuff for myself. I'm going to do something for myself to keep my mind active and just do something for myself. And I'm scheduling it in. Jamela's going to help me. Nina Capone is going to help me schedule this stuff in. So
Y'all don't know. Y'all need to
I
know.
have some time to do things. There's things that I want to learn and do, right? Okay. Let's go back here and say hi to, we have Stephen Lancaster.
That's my man.
And
He
let me
said, yo,
see.
June.
That's my man.
And
He's
see.
known me a long time.
June?
Yep.
Okay.
Baritone, I can't pronounce his name. Piera joined, but hello and thank you for supporting us.
Is that Spuddy Miller?
No. Oh yeah, I think he's on here. Let me see. And then I have callers say, hey big brother, you're the man. Stan Davis played last night. He'll be over Sunday or Saturday to start a new volume of music for Tuesday, Thursday, Philly Live Radio.
Yeah.
Thanks, Johnnie, for your compliment. Okay. And Stephen, yeah, this is Spuddy. Hi, Spuddy, how you doing? Okay. And my next door neighbor, she always support me. Thank you, Vi. Okay. Now we're going to move on, and I guess this question: do you have a manager? You don't.
No.
Okay.
No.
So how do you get your gigs?
A lot of people know me, so I stay busy. That's never an issue. I've just been doing this for so long, so I don't have a problem working.
Okay.
Would you say the gigs that you get called on are they like regional or do you get called like from California or Midwest or somewhere?
No, it's all kinds of different things. It depends on what you're talking about. It's a lot of local things that I do in these little clubs, and then they're real gigs. You can't make a living from. A lot of people see me playing in clubs and they think that that's what that is. I do this for a living. I can't make a living playing in clubs.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I don't advertise that because I don't want to belittle. It's not to be that. Everything, and it's just do with respect. But most of the things that I do that would be something that monetarily is good for me would be like sessions and private stuff.
Okay.
They're private things. Private entities. There's a couple of wedding band situations that's okay, but the majority of it is private session things that I do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I just got a call today from one of my clients that I did an album on, and he says that he wants to come in and do something else, and he's usually there for quite a minute because he does a
And
lot
he comes
of
into your studio.
yes, and he
Okay.
does a lot of songs, a lot of tunes.
Mhm.
So we may be working on his thing for maybe 6 months, you know.
Who?
Mm.
Who?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it goes.
Okay. Well, and so he's probably gonna like do a CD or something like that. But
Mhm.
that would be good. That
Oh
would be
yeah,
great.
yeah. I've done one for him
Mm.
already, and he's really enjoyed that, and he's enjoyed the process. But again, it's really just it's working with people that that will pay you for your time,
Mhm.
and they respect what you do, and you just try to put your best foot forward. And then all of the other things that comes up, you know, with artists and things like that, when those come up, it's fine. But if they don't come up, it's fine. When shows come up, award shows come up, it's fine. If they don't come up, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the name of the game with this is really uh, being a Swiss Army knife. You know, you have to have something for everybody, and you have to know who you are. You know, you have to be able to do what you do and not make it about you. At least that's how I look at it. I just appreciate, again, none of this is about me. None of this. None of it. It's never about me. I just thank God for allowing me a platform to take care of myself. I have the same situations that anybody else has, you know. I have bills, I have a mortgage, I have everything else that everybody else has. The only difference with me is that I'm self-employed, and my work, I depend on the favor of God.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I literally live that way. I thank God every day,
Thank you, God.
every day
All right.
for everything that because it doesn't have to be this way, you know.
No.
It really doesn't. And when you really think about it, that's one of the funniest situations, which is there are people that's far more talented than I am, or far less talented than I am. Some that are less talented are more busy. Some that are far talented
Yes.
aren't as busy, you know. So it's really not about how good something is. It's really about you just doing the best that you can do,
Mhm.
and thank God for bringing what He brings. And I thank God all the time.
You say what
All
God
the
has
time.
for you is for you.
Yeah, that's the other thing, and what have you, is that I've learned that I don't want anybody else's blessing.
Yeah.
You know, I
Mhm.
want my blessing. If
Mhm.
God gives you something and that's your talent and you're incredible with it, I'm glad for you.
Okay.
I really am. Now I'm waiting for mine. You know.
Now,
Yeah.
what advice do you have for people who want to follow in your footsteps? What advice can
Well,
you
I
give?
would.
We have a younger crew of musicians out there.
I would love to be able to give a diagram of something that will take you to the door of success. But the truth of the matter is most of these things is you keep it simple. You work hard at what you do. You practice your craft. You spread it out as much as you can. And the biggest part is let God do the rest. Because nothing is going to happen until He allows it to happen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, if you can keep God in this
Yeah.
and just be ready, everything that we do, if you really kind of think about it, everything that we do, the world has become me. You know, I did this. I have a degree in this, or I played here, or I played for this artist or that artist. None of those things that I've done, when it really comes down to it, it doesn't mean anything. These are things that we say to each other to somewhat give some kind of validation or some kind of impression that I've done something that validates me. You know what I'm saying? That's not the truth. The truth of the matter is God has allowed me to share my gift with other people that has shared their gifts with me, you know, and I just thank God for that. And inside of that, business is exchanged and we're able to eat.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
That's all it really comes down to.
Well, I want to say hi to Matt Green, who joined us. Thank you, Matt. And then Gilbert has given me the 5 minutes, so that means that
The hour's up?
the hour's up.
Oh my God, thank goodness.
We told you.
It goes
Wow.
by so fast. It's just a
Boy,
good, you know.
that's good. I'm
you
glad
know,
we done.
And I have some, I have a couple more things.
This thing is scaring me
But
to
no,
death.
but you're doing well. And the thing I like about you, you're sincere. Okay? Sincere. And that's really good. And I can feel it. And I'm sure Facebook fans and friends, they can feel it too.
Well, I hope so.
Okay. And if we wanted to reach you, do you have an email?
Yes, you can just
Could
send
you
me
give
my
us your
email.
email?
Croomandmusic@yahoo.com.
One more time.
Croomandmusic@yahoo.com. That's Croom, CROOM, the letter N, the word music, at yahoo.com. Or you can hit me at Facebook. And that's Johnnie Croom, JOHNNIE, CROOM.
Okay, they can follow you on Facebook, right?
You can follow me on Facebook.
Okay. And
He is so humble, but
Isn't
put
he
him
humble?
on
Stop
stage.
putting
he's
batteries
a
in my
beast.
back.
and don't put him behind that
Oh,
keyboard.
man.
You would know
Oh,
what's
man.
going on. I mean, so, but and I have you wrote this. I'm going to repeat this. It said you have shared your gifts with so many artists, and they have shared their gifts with you, and may God be the glory.
Yes.
Okay, because
Right.
he did it all, and I think we all should give God the glory for all the things that He's done and all the gifts that He's given us, and not
Absolutely.
just think that we did it on our own, because we sure enough didn't do it. You know, we did it with His blessings. I want to say next week our guest will be Marcy Francis, and Marcy Francis has done so much
Better
stuff.
Days.
Yeah, she was the first female band, wasn't she?
Yes.
First
Better
Better
Days. Yes.
And she'll be here next week on the Indie Show, and she'll be our guest. So we want you to join next week. I want to say thank you to you, Facebook, all our fans and family and friends for joining us tonight for the legendary John Croom, and we want to let him know that he is great, he is good,
Okay.
and we love his playing and all that kind of good stuff.
I
So
appreciate
I want
it.
you to go to his Facebook page and send him a message on Facebook.
I
Tell him how
appreciate
great he was tonight. I want to thank you, Gilbert, for producing the show.
All right.
And you can follow the Indie Show on Facebook, and you can like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check me out on Instagram, and check out my website. And next week we will see you at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Okay. Thanks, and we're
Well,
out of here.
one more thing. Jamila, say something.
Well, I'm going to say something about Jamila next week. Okay? Let me say something about Jamila next week.
All right.
Thank you.
Listen to